All right, everyone, welcome back. So a YouTube subscriber asked, why do exhaust manifold studs break today? It's very common that 8mm studs break today, and I'm going to take you through some of the generations and styles. Current LS exhaust manifold bolt, Dodge Ram 5.7, newer generation stuff. Older generation exhaust stud. See the difference? You got 3/8 studs, and these are 8mm. So these are 10mm 3/8 or 8mm right here. See the size difference? Size difference. This is for a Honda or an Acura. Even though it's 8mm, it's a spring style one. So the spring is actually moving, flexing, and it actually takes the tension off of these, and that's why you don't usually see these break. You do see them break when you take them out because they're seized, or the hats rust off and launch a spring. And then a very popular Ford stud that you very rarely see broken. You do see them, the nuts rust off, and what you have is thicker quality, lower quality, smaller material, and then this is under immense amounts of stress. The reason why these break so much is the cast iron is not a high quality cast iron. The gaskets are multi-layer shim or a paper or steel or some type of composite material, and then you have an aluminum cylinder head. So the aluminum cylinder head is expanding and contracting behind the exhaust manifold at a different rate than the gasket. So this gasket's going to expand and contract different than this gasket, and from every manufacturer. So this gasket is not the same as this gasket. They're all different gaskets from different manufacturers with different qualities of material. So these are moving at a different rate than the cylinder heads, right? You have non-ferrous aluminum cylinder heads mostly now. It was very rare in the old days a cast iron cylinder head with a 3/8 or 10mm exhaust manifold stud would ever break. You see the manifold rust out or crack for some type of reason, typically crack from overfueling conditions. But it's very rare that you see an older exhaust manifold fail from a broken stud. So what happens is this is moving, the cylinder head's moving at a different rate, the cast iron's moving at a different rate. It could be a high nickel cast iron, it could be crappy cast iron, it could be pot cast iron. I am sure it's the cheapest cast iron that General Motors could come up, or Dodge, and the thinnest. And then as this is moving back and forth, this is moving back and forth, this is moving back and forth, the expansion and contraction cracks the stud right off. They don't rust out here, they snap right off inside the cylinder head, or they snap right off external right here. So broken inside the cylinder head and then vibrate out, or it breaks the hat right off the end and some of it's exposed. And it would be like this. So if this was a Dodge, you would look at it, the aluminum shielding would just be hanging on this double nutted stud section. And then once you took the exhaust shield off, this nut, which is made into this bolt, would still be here. And then this would be broken flush in the manifold or broken inside the cylinder head. That's Dodge. GM, very common for the rear stud to be snapped off at the end of the cylinder head and the end of the manifold, right? So consistent heat patterns here, not such a consistent heat pattern at the end of the cylinder head and the exhaust manifold. So common position, snapped off. You also would see them snapped off in the center from corrosion, squeezing the bolt together so hard that when you turn it, it snaps everything off. So that's your explanation on why we see so many exhaust manifold bolts fail. 8mm bolts have a lot to do with it, and the expansion and contraction of the ferrous and non-ferrous materials all at the same time. That goes for Dodge. And the older generations, you didn't see this. This costs more to produce this because it's thicker and heavier, more material. And how do they do that? Well, let's just slim it down and put it on the customer in the end. But all of these moving parts is why this happens. Why does this car here still have the original exhaust manifolds and gaskets and studs in it? Because it's better quality engine here. This 4.3 I think has aluminum heads, but it may not. It probably is cast iron. So better cast iron heads, better cast iron manifold, better exhaust manifold studs, thicker. And the cast iron and cast iron cylinder head and cast iron manifolds are expanding and contracting at the same rate along with a thicker bolt. I hope that answers your question for you guys. Thanks for watching.